So, I have come up with the plan or how I'm going to read 2 books at one time. Alright, so what has happened is that while I'm at home, I'm going to read Ink, Blood, Sister, Scribe, and then in my work tote, I am going to bring The Last Apothecary. And the reasoning is because, well, the Last Apothecary is a book that's been withdrawn from the public library. And as you can see, as I was taking the spine sticker off, I've ruined the cover, and it's a really nice, like, floppy kind of book, where with Ink, Blood, Sister, Scribe, it is a hardcover, and it's mine own copy that I plan to keep for a very long time, and it's my book of the month selection, so I want to make sure it gets, like, pristine and keeps really well. Whereas The Last Apothecary, because it is like a book that's been withdrawn, I don't care how much more destroyed or if it gets destroyed kind of a thing. And that I can be really kind of rough with my stuff, and the last 2 books that I've had in my like work tote and I take in and out have kind of gotten ruined because I sometimes forget how to properly screw on my water bottle and there's water damage. Shh, don't tell anybody, right? So I figured because of that, if the book gets ruined, it's no big deal, and I can always rent it from I say rent, but borrow from the library because I know they have other copies there. It's not but that big of a deal, especially because I'm there a few times a week, so it's cool. I got it, right? But, I hopefully, kind of ruining 2 books is enough for me to remember to properly screw on my lids and making sure thermoses are shut for me to learn that, because next time it may not just be the edges of my book. So, yeah, right? So The Lost Apothecary will always be in my purse or in my work bag, and Ink, Blood, Sister, Scribe will be over there with me on my side table, right? So I actually haven't started reading either of these books because, busy. I decided to take the night off and just kind of like, watch some TV and not really think and be happy about that. So that's kind of what I did last night, and I've just been like, dragging my feet tonight. But I do plan to read tonight, so I may come back with an update with Ink, Blood, Sister, Scribe, but yeah, cool beans. Oh, and I guess, I know it's we're into July already, but because I plan to read, at least 1 book a month, or not 1 book a month, 1 book a week, like I have been doing, because, some week I'm always reading, 1.5, 2.5 books a week, so my plan is that if I can, well, I say this now, knowing because I didn't read anything yesterday, that I plan, so I guess, I finished a book this week, so which means I should be reading 3 more books the month of July, so, 1, 2, and What Lies in the Woods, and what was the book that I just finished reading? Right, If He Had Only Been With Me. Right? The reason why I couldn't think about it, because I was like, because I usually keep, the books I've read over there is because I read it digitally, right? And my tablet's over there, my night table, my side table, so, that's why. Oh, and I guess I decided that my digital book, which I'm always kind of, ongoingly read, I thought it was going to be Georgie All Along, but I actually, I plan to read the other Laura Nolan book called, This Song Isn't For You, or something like that. I don't know. I just figured that I enjoyed reading the book on the tablet, so keep that going, and I really liked If He Had Only Been With Me, so, I figured that Laura Nolan's worth, another try with this other song, and the library still doesn't have that other book, right, the sequel to that, which is, If I'd Only Told Her, or something like that, so I don't know, it's not a big deal. Maybe just throwing it out into the universe. I want to get this book when I volunteer at the bookstore on Saturday. It will be there, I don't know. I mean, The Last Apothecary was there, very soon as, I read The London Sand Society by Sarah Penner, and the next time I went to volunteer, this book was there. So, right? And just like with Not Like the Movies, right? The library withdrew it, really wanted it. When I was at the bookstore, next time it was there, it was there. I don't know. Wishful thinking. It's not that big of a deal. Books are books. I know that eventually I'm going to read it, and it's not like, I'm going to forget about it or like the contents of this book in the next couple years or like whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? But anyways, I must carry on. I have a walk to get on and get home and to, start reading. So, cool. Cool beans. All right. Bye. Alright, so I'm super excited. I've read the first, like, 2 or 3 chapters of Ink Blood Sister Scrub, and it's so cute. I love it. I love the world building. It really brought me in rather quickly. And I'm also super excited because it's Prime Days, and I bought a lamp for me to use, and it has, like, USB ports and plugs so I can have extra light. So it'll make reading at night a little bit more enjoyable, and I love it. So, yeah. Cool beans. I'm really liking it. Yeah, I can't wait to read more about this, like the main characters and how, you know, how the bond between writing can bring sisters together, and I think it's kind of like cute with like writing and everything. So yeah, right. All right, got some time. Gotta read. Make sure I read every day. That's the point. So cool. Yeah, go me. All right. Bye. Right. Okay. So I've read a little bit more of Inkblood Sister Scribe, and I think it's so cool. I like the modern twist, right? And how it's like fantasy, and I know where Inkblood Sister Scribe comes from because one of the sisters is a scribe, but she's run away, and that in this world, like all the spells, which from like yesteryear, and of course, if you knew how to do spells before, you were considered a witch, but you're not a witch, right? So, but like each time you do a spell, it requires blood, and a lot of, you get consumed by power, so a lot of the people who knew how to do magic have like blood drain themselves, right? And that their mother died, and these 2 girls, their mother died, and their father was found dead. So it's just kind of like how they're gonna live through and try to find like how, like one of these books and how they relate to keeping people alive, and how you can do magic and learning how to do that, and how like there's like dying languages, and the sister is the only one who can read this book, the last book their mother left them, who just like all of a sudden disappeared. So great mysteries, and I love the modern twist. I thought it was going to be more of like yesteryear, kind of like olden timey, like Renaissance, right? The Renaissance period, but it's not. It's more modern day, which has been freaking fantastic. And I'm also super excited because my lamp came today, right? So I have it over there on my table, and it's going to make reading at night so much more enjoyable, right? So hopefully that will help me read more. So yes. All right. Now to get more reading done. All right. Hey, thank you. Bye. Ooh, I should guess or say that I walked past the bookstore in which I volunteer, and I saw Ready Player One, and it was great because a couple weeks ago I picked up Ready Player Two, and the thing is though is that Ready Player One is a soft cover, but Ready Player Two is a hardback, but they both titles have the similar like art cover, which is most important. I would rather have, if I have to have one that's soft cover than one hardcover, at least they're the same art design or artwork, and they're not like the movies. Gotta stay consistent, right? If it can't stay consistent between hardbacks and like soft covers, then the artwork has to be the same kind. Yeah, right. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get it set aside for Saturday, and when I am there at the volunteering, so I can pick it up. I know, right? I'm a volunteer and I get paid in books. Well, not really, because I actually have to pay for the books, but is that the point? No. Right? And so I'm really hoping I can get it, because I know that between, the next 2 days, and because it's only Wednesday right now, that somebody will pick that up in the next 2.5 days. So, but here's hoping, right? Because one of my friends does work tomorrow, or she's going to volunteer tomorrow. So hopefully I did already message her, so hopefully she gets it and remembers to pick it up for me, or set it aside, not pick it up. But you get it. All right. Bye. Bye. Alrighty. So, I've changed my digital book selection to being the Library of Crooked Lane because it, it's about magic and books, kind of like Ink Blood Sister Scribe. So, why not read two books about the same kind of topic? The Crooked Librarian, or the Library of Crooked Lane, it's because, they're both books. Magic takes place, but in 1920, where Ink Blood Sister Scribe is more of a book that takes place in today. And yeah, so I've read a chapter of that, thought it was like super cool. It has brought me in because it's like the 1920s, like the she's a library assistant, and and that the main librarian is all kind of like, oh, like a woman, a woman is working, and like, a woman wearing makeup is such a faux pas, and he doesn't like it. Like, women have roles in life, and that the reason why he couldn't get why he needed a new librarian is because, like, World War I just happened, and that she was like the best option of four, because the other three men in which he had interviewed have been like, one is blind in one eye, the other one has missing a leg, the third one was, like with the bombshells, is scared of like any loud noise, so she was the best option. He kind of hates that, right? And so I'm really liking that, and like how it's just, the gender roles, but but I believe in both stories it's going to be a woman, who triumphs, and like, I don't know, really getting into that, right? Figured it was I was going to read, or I had selected this book beforehand, but now I think it's like perfect timing with having both of them books I'm kind of reading now about books. So yeah, and I think somewhat it will both kind of like work in with reading the Lost Apothecary as well, being kind of like old, mysterious about magic and everything. So yay, go selections! Alright, cool. Alright, bye! Alright, it's the next day. Time has got ready for me, and I've only read one more chapter of Ink Blood Sister Scribe. I know, here goes another week without me reading a book, which is bad. And I've started like 5, I feel like, but I really haven't started 5. But I don't know. And what I saw, it was on the back of the cover. It does say June 2023's Book of the Month selection, which I think is so super cute. And I think the theme right now of the vlogs is kind of like sisterhoods and librarians, and how like just the written word and just, I don't know, kind of like magic and medicines. Like, everybody thought that with medicine back in the day, like it was like witchcraft and everything. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from all the books I'm reading, kind of like The Wheel of Time, like the Crooked Librarian and the Ink Blood Sister Scribes. That's what I kind of feel. And I find with this book that the chapters are like rather thick, right? But I'm still liking it. I'm still enjoying the book. Love it. Thumbs up from over this way, right? So I'm probably not going to read anything for another couple hours if I read anything tonight, which sucks, right? Which means I just need to make reading more of a priority than I am now. Sad face, right? So, but you need to find the time to read because it is that important. All right, anyways, so I better get a boot or move on with my night so that way I can read. Alright, and I'm still loving, because it's the summer and how light it is staying out for so long. Can't get over it. So wonderful. Alright, thank you. Alright, bye. Alright, I'd like to introduce you to my current reads. I've read a little bit of This Song Is Not For You by Laura Nolan, The Crooked Librarian of the Librarian of Crooked Lane by C.J. Acker, One Step Behind by Laura North, Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres, The Lost Apothecary by and Billy Summers by Stephen King. And so the moral of the story is that stop starting new books and actually read them. Finish a book, right? Because I didn't finish a book this week, which, sad face, right? But I did pick up One Step Behind and Ready Player One from the bookstore today. Woohoo! Right? And then because there was a job fair going on, I was able to pick up this really cool bookmark, right? And then these annotating post-its, so that was a kind of like a ruler. Yeah. So that's just kind of it. I'm not going to read this one, but you know, we'll see how I feel later on tonight. Really like the first chapter of One Step Behind, so we'll see. But yay, go me. Reading is good. Alright, so I guess surprisingly enough, I actually read a lot of One Step Behind by Lauren North last night, which was great. And so it's just because I picked it up yesterday from the bookstore, and it's all about, you know, this girl being stalked and how nobody believes her, and actually, and it has escalated where people believe her, but like she just feels that, you know, there's nothing that she can do about it, and the police aren't getting them, and this is like affecting like her family life, and you know, like her husband and relationships and even her job. And so we're kind of still in the discovery mode of like what's happening, but I'm thinking because she I think has adopted her son, and it has to do with him, that like the reason why she's being stalked, it has something to do with him, right? Well, there's the fact that like that the son was adopted, so it's like the birth parents, right? But she knows it's a guy. We're gonna figure out like how this is all gonna be solved. And of course, because it's how like these kind of stories go, is that there is gonna be an attack on her life, right? But you know, right? So it is still, the day is still young, and I do plan to, you know, read some more. Don't think at this point I'll be able to finish the book, but one can try. I might be able, or hopefully, to, you know, read it tomorrow or finish it tomorrow if everything goes as planned or right? So I think this will be, you know, a quick read, and something that's, because it's only 350 pages and I'm like 100 pages in, so it's not that bad, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be nice. Something to consider. Alright, and I think that is just where I'm going to end today's vlog, or this week's vlog, not the days, because I really haven't, I know it's bad, I haven't read a book this week, and I've started a bunch, and yeah, and I know that I shouldn't have bought anything, but you know what, One Step Behind is really, it's intriguing, it's piqued my interest. I don't know. As long as you read, as long as you keep reading, and as long as I read every single day, it doesn't necessarily what book I read. Point is that I'm reading, really like this. I'm happy that I just randomly came across this at the Friends of the Library bookstore yesterday, so yeah. Alright. Bye.